Call the meeting to order. Will everybody rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. Okay, has everybody got a chance to read the minutes from March the 5th?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
I'll second.
Mr. Wolker with the motion, and Mr. Cangro with the second, is that
Yes.
correct?
That's correct.
Roll call.
Mr. Wolker,
Aye.
Mr. Cangro,
Aye.
Mr. Ford,
Aye.
Mr. McAdams,
Aye.
Mr. Jank.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, can we have the first case, please?
Yes, sir. First case this evening is case 226A. This is an application for conditional use submitted by Scott Miller, Certified Cultivators 1 LLC, 1654 Springfield Street, Dayton, Ohio, for a property located at 559 State Route 125. The subject property is currently zoned PD Plan Development, located at the accessed off of Williams Drive, approximately 200 feet southeast of the intersection of 125 and Williams Drive on parcel 413216B, as in boy 133. Background investigation: the existing PD designation and formal plan that governs the approval and land use on this property was established in zoning case 286Z. The site is now vacant after hosting a former dine-in and carry-out restaurant for many years prior to the regional closure of that specific restaurant brand due to financial insolvency. The applicant has submitted a minor amendment to alter the proposed restaurant use to retail with no physical changes to the building, structure, or site, consistent with the requirements of the adopted PD district regulations. Notwithstanding that, the applicant seeks to redevelop the parcel for the express purposes of operating and converting the property into a dual-use adult recreational and medical cannabis dispensary. The applicant asserts the proposed business would be licensed by the Ohio Division of Cannabis Control and operated in conformity with all state mandated rules and regulations regarding dual-use dispensaries, as evidenced via the submitted application and supporting documents. The use is conditionally permitted within the PD district, subject to BZA ratification in that through the conditional use process as per the recently amended provisions of the zoning resolution established in Article 6, Section 662.3, adopted in March of 2026. I won't belabor too much of the legislative history discussion, but basically previously there was a cap of 2. It has been raised to 4. There were other revisions related to the various places where these uses can be conducted. As I indicated previously, the applicant has indicated in the proposal that the dispensary would be state licensed with the Ohio Division of Cannabis Control. And in addition to state regulations and licensure requirements, the applicant has stated the proposed dual-use dispensary will comply with the provisions of 662.3 as recently amended with regard to the requirements established in subsections A through L, and I will walk through those. Notwithstanding those provisions, the applicant has requested the BZA consider a variance and relief to allow hours of operation beyond 9 p.m. as stated in the regulations, with proposed hours extending to 10:45 p.m., which is in the discretion of the BZA to either grant that variance or not grant that variance. In our review of the application, we find the following. Pursuant to Section 662.3A, the use is situated more than 500 feet from all uses set forth in that subsection. 662.3B, the use is situated more than 100 feet from any adjacent residential use or zone. The 62.3C, adequate screening and buffering exists already on the site as it is already developed and will not result in any additional construction activities. Item subsection D, the applicant has stated that he will comply with the hours of operations and limitations established unless the BZA grants favorable consideration to a request to extend hours per my prior comment. That is subject to the board's discretion. .3E subsection, all newly installed lighting has to meet or exceed the requirements of Article 14, basically downward directed, dark sky compliant, low glare fixtures. Article 662.3F, the applicant has to affirmatively participate in a joint economic development district, which shall include the execution and petition and other documents pursuant to that section. The applicant asserts and will be required to make a one-time impact fee payment, the amount of $50,000 at the time of permitting pursuant to this section. H and I are not applicable, as this is not an existing dispensary. And J through L, if we look at those, the application meets these requirements. Additionally, the board is empowered to provide additional safeguards as part of their review process. Specifically, staff recommends that the board establish additional requirements regarding the execution of a community benefits agreement to be negotiated with the township, and a review of the proposal indicates that the proposed application generally complies with the provisions of section 440 through 445 of the zoning resolution, and there are some findings in there for the board's consideration and review. It is a permissible use in the PD district. It's not incompatible with the land use plan recommendations for the Ohio Pike corridor. It will adaptively reutilize an existing defunct restaurant building, eliminating blighting influences, vacancy along the corridor. It does not appear to operate in a manner that is hazardous or injurious to adjacent uses because of the heavy commercialized area. It appears to be adequately served by public utilities. It is anticipated to operate in a similar manner to existing permitted retail cannabis dispensaries, which operate with no issues. Ample stacking is provided on the site due to the large property area. There is one additional recommendation about some additional landscaping enhancements to be replaced on the site. The site suffered a little bit of a decline with the vacancy of the former restaurant. Just need to get that upgraded to meet current standards commensurate if it is approved to operate at that location. The board's action this evening is to either approve as submitted, approve with additional modifications, or deny this conditional use application as presented in Union Township zoning case 226A, and there are, I believe, 4 recommended additional conditions dealing with the specific requirements to execute JED paperwork, Joint Economic Development District paperwork, community benefits agreement with the township, the impact fee, and a lighting audit of the site to make sure that they are compliant with Article 14. That concludes my report.
Okay, any questions of the board yet? No. Is there anybody here to speak in favor of this proposal? Step up to the mic, one at a time. State your name, spell your last name,
Good evening, Board. Scott Miller, Miller,
and your address,
849 Lincoln Woods Court, Dayton, Ohio,
phone number.
937-239-1701.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Board. Scott Miller with Certified Cultivators. I'm the Vice President, mainly dealing with compliance and regulatory matters. Very excited to have the opportunity to come to Union Township now that the township is allowing 4 dual-use dispensaries. We are a level 1 cultivator, processor, and have 4 dispensaries operating in Ohio currently. We have approximately 300 employees on our team. We started with 3 back in 2017, so we've been with the Ohio Cannabis regulatory scheme and part of the Division of Cannabis Control since it started. We're excited to be here with Union Township. We're happy to comply with all of the conditions that are listed, and I defer to you if you have any questions.
Any questions of the board? I have one. Why do you want to stay open to 10:45?
So we have drive-throughs at our other locations, and approximately 30 to 40% of our business is being driven by the drive-throughs. Especially, we close the in-store at 9 and allow the drive-through from 9 to 10:45, and it stays. Customers are coming the whole time.
Where are your other locations?
We have one in South Euclid, which is Cleveland. We have one in Columbus, Silver Drive, just north of the old Crew Stadium on 71. We have one in Springfield, Ohio, Dayton, and we're working on one in Miami Township, South Dayton, and then here.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Would you be amenable to staying open till midnight?
No, we can only stay up till 11 per state code. And the state actually, DCC is, the ORC says we can stay open till 11, but DCC's told us only 10:45 with our drive-through, so that's why it's 10:45.
Do they dictate a start time, like an open time?
7 a.m. is the
7 a.m.
earliest,
is
yeah.
what the
We open
state-
at 9. Because we do, our team gets in there about 7 at all our locations. They do daily inventory audits, prepare for the day.
Any other questions? Okay, is there anybody else that wants to speak in favor of this proposal? State your name, spell your last name.
Zachary Weprin, W-E as in Edward, P as in Paul, R as in Ryan, I as in Indigo, N as in Nancy.
And your address,
277 Stewart Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, 43206.
phone number.
937-681-0238.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Just here to kind of reiterate everything that Scott Miller mentioned. I'm the president of Certified Cultivators. I started this company with Scott and my father. Like you mentioned, we've been operating in a state-regulated market since early 2020. We have 300 employees across the state. Extremely grateful for the opportunity to operate this type of business inside Ohio. When I was 8 years old, my mom passed away with breast cancer, and when I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I've been learning how to deal with that my entire life, and I'm a big proponent of cannabis and the ability to use that for the mental and physical things that come with dealing with those things in life. So just grateful to be an entrepreneur in the cannabis community in Ohio and being able to build business around that. So I spent the first decade of my career building a restaurant company across the state, which I started in downtown Cincinnati. It's a fast casual sushi restaurant called Fusion. So I've been an entrepreneur for almost 15 years in my career. And, it's been a wonderful journey. We're operating in the cannabis space and being a part of the legal change across the state, from medical to adult use, and working with partnering and working with local townships like yourselves, as we've been continuing to open and operate these businesses, whether it's our wholesale operation based in Dayton or our retail stores across the state. And happy to help answer any other questions as well.
Any questions from the board? None? Okay. Is there anybody else to speak in favor?
Thank you, guys.
Have a seat. Is there anybody else to speak in favor of this proposal? Hearing none, is there anybody to speak in opposition to this proposal? Step on up. State your name, spell your last name.
Ralph Brinkman, B-R-I-N-K-M-A-N,
Your address,
3995 Williams Drive, Cincinnati,
okay, and your phone number.
513-535-0584.
Okay, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
My wife and I have been living on this Williams Drive for 42 years. We've gone through drug houses, flooding. I know this is something new, but we have that in my mind, all this stuff. As far as I know, there's a dispensary less than a quarter mile away down on Mount Carmel Tabasco Road, straight across from Williams Drive. I believe there's one down by St. Vincent's grade school. So I don't know why another one would have to be in so close of a vicinity. We didn't realize it was where the old restaurant was. The notice we got, I probably could have got some more people off of our street. We just came in to see where it was. It just said east of Williams Drive. We're looking all around 275. We didn't know it was on Williams Drive. But there's young kids now on the street, new families. And there are already concerns about going for a walk in that direction because there's, the inn has attracted apparently somebody that's got a record, shouldn't be around children. And he's in that inn right now, as far as I know. I feel another restaurant, a food place, something that would make Williams Drive more appealing than, I don't know anything about dispensaries. I don't know what kind of people it attracts. I've already got cameras. Well, I have cameras on my house, and I have people, and we know this person lives up in the inn, some lady, I know what she looks like, coming up to my house and waving at my house or my cameras like she's on drugs. I've caught her down, and I got a little bit of a wood line on the other side of my creek, and I've caught her down in there more than once, and she's on something, I don't know. And I'm afraid what's going to happen is you put a dispensary there, you're going to have more walk-in traffic and other I'm not really worried about, because I know the Frisch's had traffic, but you're going to have people going in there. You know, we get people walk from Hopper Hill. You know, I don't know what it's going to attract. And that's, you know, it's kind of got my concern up as far as that goes. And then when the hours were mentioned, I consider it a residential street. And we've dealt with people hanging out on the corner years ago, and that's all gone now. As far as I know, there's no houses being used for drugs. I mean, the township or somebody got rid of the one house that was the main thing with that. Like I said, I don't really know anything about the dispensary, and I didn't know it was going to be right there. And I'm just concerned about the young families that are moving in there. They may not have known it was going to go there, so they might have had a complaint about it. So, I believe that's all I have at the time, and, but like I said, there's another one quarter mile down the road, so why did we need another one?
Any questions from the board? Or any statements? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a seat. Is there anybody else to speak in opposition to this proposal? Step up. Did you fill out one of the papers?
Yeah.
Okay. State your name, spell your last name,
Susan Brinkman, B-R-I-N-K-M-A-N,
your address,
3995 Williams Drive,
phone number.
513-535-0582.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
I worry about the traffic. Being a small street and going right on to 125 Beachmont, and being across from Mount Carmel, Tabasco, you all probably know that intersection. It's horrible, especially, certain times of day. We don't always even get a green light when it's our turn. And even when we do, it's so blocked up from the other traffic that we can't get out. I feel that with a restaurant, it's certain times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's okay. But with this, it's probably all times a day, I would think, any time of day it could be. And I worry that it's going to make it even worse, especially if the traffic light isn't changed somehow. Will there be any consideration for that?
That traffic light's controlled by ODOT, isn't it?
Yep, that's ODOT.
That's how you would address that.
Will you all have any
We-
say in that? Can somebody talk to ODOT?
We can certainly contact ODOT about Yeah, I mean, I have a good relationship with folks at ODOT. We can talk to them about the signal
Could it be
timing.
lined with a right turn lane or something and a new light system, so it's coordinated
Well,
with
it
the
depends on-
oncoming traffic?
We have to look at what the signal head is, whether, because they'll make you do a signal warrant analysis on that to see whether, I don't know, what is the signal head currently? Is it a 5? Is it a 5 light
It's
head?
5.
So you got a turn arrow and then
Yeah.
okay. So maybe it's just a timing adjustment that needs to occur?
Sometimes we'll sit through 3 rotations before we get a green for Williams Drive
I
to go
wonder-
out.
Do they have radar detectors or like the little white boxes, or do they have the things in the pavement? I don't.
It's not on the
I mean, I can
pavement.
go look at it. It may be loop detectors in the pavement. They're moving away from that. If you look at, they're moving to radar boxes now. So,
Well, whatever it is, it needs to change.
yeah, I'm happy to reach out to ODOT
Okay.
on that.
That'd be wonderful.
Yes.
Because like I said, there's times where
So
we
you just sit and it
at-
doesn't-
Well, I mean, if you're making a right-hand turn, fine, but if you want to go straight or you want to go left, you just have to take it.
And it's just, you don't get an arrow to
You
go
don't get an
left?
arrow, you don't get a green light,
It sounds like there's a
it
malfunction.
sits there and
in the
laughs
signal.
at you.
That sounds like there's a malfunction in the
Yeah,
signal.
it does.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I have emailed with them a number of years ago, and they found a glitch in it which they fixed, but now we're back to how
Now
it
you're
was.
back again?
Yeah.
So it was good for a little while and it went back again?
But it's not as bad as it was, but it's still,
Still bad?
yeah.
They're not wanting their customers pissed off.
And I'm with a new business coming in that's, you know, not timed to meal times or anything. Plus, we already get a backup with White Castle.
Yeah,
Sure.
That can be terrible.
We can address the signal timing there with ODOT and
Okay.
and talk to them about that. It sounds like there's something wrong in the cabinet, the
Yeah.
controller cabinet.
Okay. But that might go a little way towards, okay,
anything else?
no,
All right,
Just what's
thank you
already
very
done.
much for your comments.
thank you.
Is there anybody else to speak in opposition to this proposal? Hearing none, we'll move to the board.
Is there a projected car count, like per day? Like, can you step back up, either one?
Scott?
Is there a projected, like, car count per day that you guys have, or per hour or something of anticipated?
I imagine it'll be somewhere between 300 to 500, 600 cars a day, depending on the day. You know, it's probably similar consistency to White Castle or any other fast food, you know, Frisch's. Just one thing I didn't mention before is this is actually our 3rd Frisch's location. One in Columbus, one in South Dayton, Miami Township across the street from the Dayton Mall. And now this one. So we have experience of converting old former Frisch's locations into a successfully operating dispensary. Yeah. So
Thanks.
Any other questions?
No. The only thing, I mean, between us here at the board and stuff like that, I mean, I feel for the gentleman that lives on the street, and, you know, as we're up here, it meets all the conditions that we have, you know, for conditional, and, I mean, there's really, I don't know what else you can do about it, you know, or, other than basically approve it.
Can I ask?
Yes.
Go ahead.
They meet all the conditions, I mean,
Right.
Can I ask one more question of you, sir, please? When would you say, what's the peak traffic time?
I mean, it depends on the traffic flow. I mean, I've driven down on the street. Actually, it'll be evenings. It'll be lunchtime. You know, it could range from. It really depends on the traffic flow in the market as well. So
What do you project, like, with a peak time and
I don't think there's
what's the
actually
number of
one
cars?
peak time. It's more just
Okay.
kind of following along with the traffic, so it could be busier between, 4 and 8 p.m. It's partially one of the reasons why we've extended our hours. I think one thing that we're gonna do in this location that we haven't done in the others is we'll actually have 2 drive-through windows as opposed to just 1. It'll allow us to speed up the process of the drive-through experience, which will ultimately keep traffic moving quicker. Another thing, but to address a couple other things too, it's a significant investment in terms of what we go in there, and we'll clean this place up. We'll make sure all the lighting looks great and add the landscaping. We'll repave the entire lot, make it look brand new, and really clean up the place and elevate the experience as opposed to what it looks like right now. So,
Thank you.
Did the fact it was at Frisch's dictate your location, or were you looking, it is in close proximity to another one, so is it just because that building became available?
It's because the building became available. Over the last several years, as we've looked to expand our retail footprint across the state, I've been working and developing relationships with townships and cities across the state. I've gotten to know Corey over the last couple of years. I'm very well aware of the change from 2 to 4, and when the change from 2 dispensaries to 4 dispensaries, we had a license left in this county that it was a timing thing. So it's just kind of been ironic that we've ended up in multiple Frisch's locations. Also, ironically, our Springfield location was a former White Castle. It's kind of just the footprints, it's the access, it's the ability to get in and out, it's the parking, mostly convenience and the ability for the vicinity to the highway system. We currently wholesale in 95% of the dispensaries across the state, including the ones in Union Township as well as across the entire region of Southwest Ohio. And the Southwest region of Ohio is a higher volume, kind of average unit volume of dispensaries compared to the rest of the state. We're just excited to kind of be here, and the Frisch's end up being kind of convenient and easy access in and out, quick, and I've driven this market significantly. We actually had a restaurant actually down the street over in Anderson, so I'm fully aware of the high traffic up and down this road, going east and west in both directions throughout all times of the day. So partially another reason why we want to be open later. We've recently expanded our drive-through hours in our other locations as well.
Do you have mostly drive-through or walk-ins?
About 30 to 35% on average right now we're seeing through the drive-through in our other locations. And as far as walk-ins, you can place an order online on your computer or on your phone, and you can come in, walk in, and grab it and to go. There'll be 65 some cameras in and around the property, as well as inside the building. Obviously, you guys have experience with other state-regulated dispensaries in the market. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, just back to our discussion. I think that, let me ask one question. Mr. Wright asked about the landscaping. Is there any way you could put together a drawing
Absolutely.
and get that over to the township?
Absolutely.
Is what you intend? And out of curiosity, I'm trying to remember, is there a fence between that motel and that building?
No,
say no.
there must be an easement that connects the two properties because the driveways are all connected. So I've driven around that property multiple times. There's not a fence between the two, but we'll elevate the property as we improve the landscaping, as well as approve that entire kind of entrance to the site as well.
Mr. Wright, is that?
I'm pulling up Google Maps now, see if we can see.
Okay.
Get a drive
I
shot
guess my
there.
question is, if they submit, a landscaping plan, is that something you guys take a look at, or do we have to take a look at?
Yes, sir. We would look at it for adequacy and
Yeah, we've done a landscaping plan on every one of our locations and all the zoning reviews that we've just gone through, and ultimately, we're here to partner with you guys, so whatever it takes, we'll happily we want our property to, the landscaping to be as pretty as what a McDonald's does, and that's what we're doing in all of our other locations.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically back to the thing, whether you agree or disagree with your operation, there's, it fits within the confines of, the conditional requirements. So, there's not a whole lot,
Here's a good shot of the
yay or
site.
nay that we can do.
They probably have
other
shared
than-
access easements.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, when the site was developed, and you think back to the 80s, when they developed these sites, you have the limited access from the highway.
Yeah.
And so when we'll just take a little drive around, you have the limited access fence there, and it appears that, they have shared joint parking facilities, which is not uncommon for a dual-use site like this. And my suspicion is there's probably access easements all over this property, which would preclude, any kind of like obstruction or
Right.
fencing in that.
Gotcha. Yeah, the one drawing I was looking at actually showed a lot of that stuff. But, all right.
And I mean, it was basically, back in the 80s, more or less one site that developed with two pads, very similar to what you'd see on any interstate off-ramp with the hotel and then a sit-down type restaurant. And again, ironically with the Frisch's, one of the things that was crazy about, Frisch's failing is the real estate that they occupy was very good real estate generally throughout, at least the tri-state or whatever, and particularly in the township. So, sadly, we lost one, but we have, the other one's super busy now, so don't know what that means. I also measured the proximity to the closest, to the dispensary reference on Mount Carmel. It's almost 2 miles as the crow flies. So it doesn't feel like 2 miles, but it is 2 miles from that facility.
Well, I'd look at where this one's located. I mean, it's like cat's meow. I mean, you're sitting there, entrance, exit onto the expressway. I mean, you're over, 5 miles, 6 miles to Kentucky? And they don't have any of this stuff, and so I'm just sitting there. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I mean, that's a good location for you.
Yeah, we believe that as well, and that's why we're interested in investing $3.5 million into this property to build the business, hire 30 employees, and, operate the most efficient place that we can to drive as much revenue for the township as possible.
Well said, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, discussion of the boards.
It's just like I was saying. I mean, just the location and stuff like that, and whether you
I'm
agree
ready
or
for a
disagree.
motion.
All right. I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve with additional modifications. And I will incorporate points 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will add point 5 of the condition, and I want the hours of operation will be from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Sunday.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Real quick, who had the second on that? I was writing.
That was me. McAdams.
Mr. McAdams. You call the roll, sir? I have Mr. Cangro,
Aye.
Mr. McAdams,
Aye.
Mr. Ford,
No.
Mr. Walker,
All right,
Mr. Jenk.
All right,
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 no. Yes, yes.
all right, you need to make sure that you get with the zoning board and get your permits and all the paperwork you need as soon as possible. Is there anything else to come before the board?
Sir, I have no further business for the board this evening.
will you follow up on the ODOT?
Yes,
Traffic
yes, in
light,
fact,
keep
I'll
us
add
out
that
of
to my list of calls and email. I'll call and email tomorrow. I'm gonna call Doug Gruber he's the deputy director, and I'll ask him.
I'm ready to make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
And roll call.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:37 PM.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.